Alright, hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to F1 Manager. Alright. Oh, it seems like it's been quite a while since the last stream. When was it? Last Monday? Oh, Monday just gone? 6 days ago? Hello, good evening. Right, anyway, let's dive in. No time to mess around. We're starting later today because I had football. But here we are, the glitz, the glamour, the spectacle that is Monaco. The racing in Monaco is far from a spectacle nowadays, but hey, here we are anyway. A place dear to my heart, good old Monaco. I've been 3 times. Lovely place. It's quite expensive, but it's a lovely place. Right. Anyway, so off camera, what I did earlier this morning actually is I did the practice, and I did Q1 and I did Q2 because I wanted to get straight into the action today, and hopefully maybe even start to do some of the next race as well. Be quite nice. I don't think we're going to get 2 races done, but if we can get this race done and maybe get the qualifying and practice done for Canada as well, be quite nice. Is it Canada next or is it Azerbaijan? I can't remember. Used to be Canada straight after Monaco. I think it might be Azerbaijan now actually. Anyway, let's not worry about the next race. Let's worry about this one, where overtaking is nigh on impossible. So qualifying in this race is probably the most important qualifying on the calendar, so it's important that we don't cock this up, yeah? So both drivers are through into Q3, and if we look at the results of the qualifying, we can see that in Q2, Lando Norris up in P7, Daniel got through by 2/10 in 10th position, and as you can see, we've got the Mercedes, we've got the Alfa Romeos, we've got the Alpines and ourselves all within a couple of tenths of each other, so it's quite tight. 4 cars battling for what is essentially 5th place behind the Ferraris and the Red Bulls, so it's a close one. It's a close one. We'll see what happens. So qualifying is upon us for Q3. We're going to do our first runs on a used set of tyres, because we're going to use the brand new set for the second qualifying run in Q3. We need to keep... Oh, my mouse has run out of battery. My mouse has run out of battery. Hang on a second, I'll have to charge it. It just suddenly stopped working on me. It's one drawback of this mouse and keyboard combo is that you don't know when the mouse is low on battery. Right, okay. I suppose the good thing is that it's you can charge it with USB. It's not like batteries like AA or AAA batteries. It's you can charge it up. There we go. Fantastic. Just means I've got to cope with a wire for a little while. It's not a problem. If that's the only technical difficulty of today's stream, I'll take it. I thought microphone. I've double checked it. I've triple checked it. I put the channels on. I've put it off mute. I was certain we weren't going to have a microphone problem. But yeah, unfortunately, it's the mouse. It's the mouse's turn to kick off. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yes, I'm going to use. We need a new set of softs for the race, because the race strategy is set of softs onto a set of hards. So we need to keep a brand new set of softs for the race. So this is our qualifying set. So we want to use a used set for the first runs, because the first runs we're not guaranteed to get a clear track, so we won't waste the fresh tyres until the second run of Q3 for both drivers. So used set for Daniel, used set for Lando there as well, and that's it. I think we've given the right car parts, yeah? Yeah, that's fine. Gearboxes, yeah, fine. That's fine. I'm using the more worn gearbox and the more worn engine simply because Monaco is not about engine speed and all that. It's about cornering ability. So we're going to not use our newer engines and gearboxes and stuff. We'll use those on tracks where speed is more important. Like Azerbaijan, for example. So yeah, using the older stuff on this one. Anyway, let's go. Let's dive in. Qualifying. Let's get this done. Can we qualify in P5? It's probably a bit of a stretch.
Radio is good. Drink's good.
So how can we not start with the hards rather than the softs? I can see getting off the line is important, but wouldn't you want your second stint faster? It is mainly that. It is getting off the line is very important, especially in Monaco. You don't want to be losing track position, so it's even more imperative to be on the softer tyre to start with. In some tracks where track position isn't quite so important, you might want to do the harder strategy first. It's a potential. But yeah, let's send Daniel out first. Come on, Daniel. Come on, Daniel-san. We'll go, Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. Daniel-san. Come on, Daniel-san. You stay focused. Okay, so Daniel is. Oh, I know some of the corner names, not many of the corner names for Monaco, which is a cardinal sin, but I don't know them all. Could have looked them up before the session, but I've been at football, been very busy, you know. But what I've been to say, I've been to Monaco 3 times, and I've walked the track, and we also drove around the track in a VW Chiran. Not quite as quick as an F1 car, but it was good fun driving around the track. We went to the casino. Found out they didn't play poker there, so I was like, I'm not interested in blackjack or roulette or craps actually, so I'm not going to do anything. And we got dressed up and everything. What a waste of time. But hey ho. But our favourite bar in the entirety of Monaco was the Rascasse bar, which literally is basically this is the Rascasse corner. This bar here, this is a bar. This is the Rascasse bar, and they did a happy hour from like 5 till 7 every day. So we were in here for happy hour. Then we used to go back to the room or to the little apartment that we had, and then we'd come back out later in the evening. It was quite a nice little bar on the harbour front. Quite busy little place. It was quite nice. Anyway, sorry about this. I thought I'd bore you with that. Right, let's go. And then further down this way, off camera, sort of further down that way, there was a sports bar here, which was quite nice as well. Odd pool tables and stuff. So here we go. Daniel Ricciardo is blasting down, and he's going to have traffic right in his way, which is a bit unfortunate, but we can't predict when the traffic is going to come out, can we? So riding on board with Daniel, and look at that, we've got a car right ahead of us. Can we get past, or are we going to get slowed down? And this is why we put the used tyres on, because we may get compromised in our first runs, and we don't want to waste brand new tyres. So we're going to pass this car maybe before the... No. We're getting blocked. We ain't passing him until the tunnel, and he's going to come in really slowly. Round the Lowe's hairpin, the slowest corner on the calendar, and we're stuck behind him, and we can't pass him, and therefore this is a compromised lap. I almost think we should scrap it. I'm going to scrap it. Call Karen. It's not about wasting energy, wasting time. It's just a pointless exercise. So, ruined. Completely ruined. Push. Riding on board with Lando here. So Daniel's first run is a calamity, to put it mildly. He's not going to get a first run now. He's going to have to, unless we call him in and send him straight back out on another set of U's. We could do that, actually. I might do that. It's a shame not to give him 2 runs.
Daniel pit lane.
So Lando on his outlap is catching up to another car ahead of him. That car ahead of him is a Mercedes, which is probably on a hot lap. It's Russell who's on an outlap as well, so basically that's fine. That's fine. Alright, okay, let's go. Let's get Daniel onto another set of tyres, 90%, that'll do, and off you go.
If you can, push. Confirm.
Okay, so Lando Norris, his first flying lap. Got enough of a gap to the Mercedes here, so this should be pretty okay. We're going to send Daniel out again for his first lap, second attempt at his first lap. Sending out Norris soon. I put a picture of the Monaco track corner names in the stream. Just go try and look there if you want. Oh, it's quite multitasking. Clearly, it's too much. Too much. If I had a third screen like I used to do, I could have done that, but I sacrificed a third screen for desk space. Right, okay, so Daniel Ricciardo with a 1:57. Let's get this sorted. He's recharging, pushing. I don't know where he is. Okay, he's quite far back. So here's Norris coming down to the chicane section, and here we go. Coming round, final sector, well, just about to hit the timing for the second sector. There's a final sector here, the swimming pool section. Right, left, and once again into Raskas corner. And before you know it, there's a little statue here. There's a little statue of Fangio. I think it's Fangio, actually. I think there's a Fangio statue right in this little section here. Right, we don't need any fuel. Are you having a laugh? We're on a hot lap, pal. Let's go. Pedal to the metal. We're looking for around about a 1:11.8 to be on a par with our previous times. Norris is getting... That's a 1:12. That's not his fastest lap of qualifying. But he was on a used set of softs, so that might explain the 0.2 differential there. But it was just our banker lap.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Right, off we go. Deployment and attack. Okay, let's see if Daniel can put a decent marker down. So we're behind Bottas by 3:10. I mean, the Alfa Romeos, if you remember in the last session, the Alfa Romeos in Miami were not on the pace. Hello, Liv, welcome also. And in this track, clearly back on the pace. So it seems to me that they struggle in high-speed circuits, the Alfa Romeos, doing much better in the slower speed corners of Monaco. Okay, so riding on board with Daniel, who's obviously going to be faster across his entire lap. Let's ride off board as we're approaching the tunnel. How's my week been so far? Yeah, my week has been it's been the average week. Nothing exciting really to talk about.
Okay, understood. And
It's
just remind you to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
Okay. Norris's time, definitely not a good one. I think it's the tyres. I think it's the tyres. I'm blaming the tyres here. We're going to be 9th and 10th, I think, at this rate, basically. Unless Daniel goes quicker. No, ooh. So Daniel qualifying within a 100th of a second of Norris, which makes me think that Norris's time was definitely slow, because Norris has been about 0.2 quicker so far than Daniel across the piece.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
So that makes me think definitely Norris not, for whatever reason, his first lap wasn't a good one.
Okay, recharge on. Okay.
But 9th and 10th is not what we were hoping for. We were hoping for maybe 6th, 7th position with Norris. I mean, 5th would be really, really good, but we got to make up 6 tenths on the second to get to 5th on Hamilton. Not happening. I'm thinking 6th or 7th could be doable. It is going to require... Let's get Ricciardo back in the pits here. It is going to require some very good second laps. So fresh boots on for both cars. We know the drill. We know the drill. Let the cars go out. And then we're going to be last. And we shouldn't be overly close with the times here, because there's only 10 cars to worry about. So a lap is about 1 minute 12. So we've got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. We're going to send Norris out first for a change. And then Daniel. Okay. Perfect. Right, so we're going to go balanced on the engine mode now and recharge the ERS. And balance for him too. So we got Leclerc in first position on pole, provisional pole as it stands. Verstappen in second, Sainz in third, Perez in fourth, Hamilton, Bottas, Russell along the third. Just the one Alpine making it through, and the one Alfa Romeo making it through to Q3. Let's see what we can do. Norris is going to have to really up his game this one. We're wanting P7. 3 tenths, young man. Okay. Deployment on first. Push on first. Tack into the corner. We can't give him anything else. It's all up to him now.
Maximum pace.
Maximum pace.
Yeah, fine.
Daniel is coming round, I think. Just put Daniel on too. There we go. And full pace for him too. Right, there we go. Use the pace. Pace, pace, pace. Attack, attack, attack. So first sector is a green. Green first sector, going faster, which is a good sign. Let's have a look at some of the other sectors from some of the other cars. Russell potentially going faster. Sainz
Okay, Lando, that is the end of the session.
is finished. Leclerc still pole. Verstappen crossing the line. Is he going to go into pole position? No, he doesn't improve. He's still in second. Everybody's going slower. Ricciardo's going slower. Looks like the track isn't evolving very well, but Lando is going faster. His last lap was a... That's the wrong one. There we go, 1.2 seconds. He's got to make up a couple of tenths. He's got to make up 4 tenths to get... I think 8th position is probably the best we're going to hope for here. Powering down the pit curve. It's not really straight, is it? Here we go. Woo! Yep, 8th position. That's probably as best as we could have hoped for. I mean, Daniel, can he displace Alonso? Probably not, but you never know. Ooh, went a bit quicker, but not enough. So 8th and 10th, which... a little bit disappointed, to be fair. A little bit disappointed, but we know that the low-speed cornering isn't our forte. It's the high-speed, the medium-speed cornering, which we are better at. So we knew that this track was not going to be our strongest, especially when compared with the last one, but it is what it is. It's going to be difficult to overtake, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, 8th and 10th. That's a double points finish if we finish well. If we finish the race here, it's nothing to be too upset about. Watching my Last of Us playthrough, do you know what? So have I. I don't usually watch my own stuff, but I started watching my own playthrough And I'm basically keeping pace with the TV program, with the TV show. So I can't remember what part number it is, but I'm literally at the bit where we're just about to meet Bill. So that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing, to be honest. Would you ever consider doing a PC version? No. Non-stealth, brutal playthrough. Oh! Lando Norris got the exact same time as he got in Q2, in Q3. And Ricciardo qualified 4/1000th of a second within his Q2 time. Alonso 4/1000th of a second. I mean, that's quite some consistency, isn't it? Isn't that consistent?
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Wheel to wheel.
McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky, watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix.
Okay, sorry about that. So just blow my nose. Still not quite getting rid of the cold just yet. Right, okay, so apparently it's going to be well, it says cloudy. It doesn't say rain, so I'm not anticipating there being any rain. Let's just double check the strategy view. Yeah, cloud. There's a slight % chance of rain, nothing major. But the simple strategy here is one stop. Two stopping in Monaco is suicidal. You lose track position. So yeah, and the tyres that we've got are quite sturdy, quite hardy, so we can do a soft stint and then follow it up with a hard stint. It is quite tight though. It is quite tight to make this work. But then in Monaco you don't tend to have to push too hard, to be honest with you, because if you get into a train of DRS and stuff and you ain't passing the car ahead of you, you can start to conserve your tyres a little bit. So it does make me wonder though, what's the time differential between the compounds? Ooh, quite a big difference. It's half a second is the difference. Because I was thinking of maybe even going on to a set of mediums and then pushing, but half a second differential is pretty significant. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, we're going to go with the basic strategy of soft onto hard, and we're going to have to do some conserving at some point. So, brand new sets of soft. It's fine. Very good. Lando might be, yeah, still quite tight, isn't it? Still quite tight. It's a tight one. Right, driver options. Especially when we're going to be pushing off the line for a little while. Okay, so soft compound tyres, best start off the line, especially important for Monaco. Pushing, we may have to conserve at some point during the race. But, of course, if safety cars come out and stuff like that, that will definitely help with the tyre strategy. Yeah, we shall see what happens. But here we are, 8th and 10th. Is it going to be processional? We'll see. If it starts to be processional, we can obviously skip the time forward a little bit, speed it up. Might make it a bit easier for us to get another race, and you never know. But anyway, without further ado, here we are, the jewel in the crown, the F1 calendar. It's Monaco GP.
A somewhat overcast day for the drivers who've now taken position on the grid.
Safety car percentage
And
chance was
there's Lando
67%.
Norris. With a top 10 position on the grid,
But
race could
it's a
really
race
go either way
where there's
for
no
them.
runoff areas, or very, very little
And
runoff
behind them,
areas.
It's Ricciardo.
Any mistake,
They're in the front half.
you're in the
of pack,
barrier.
So there's plenty of potential for them. Will their hard work pay off today?
Speaking of going into the barriers, in practice 1, Daniel Ricciardo locked up, went into the barrier and destroyed a wing. Yes, he did. Okay, the lights are on, the lights are off. We are go, go, go here at Monaco. Riding on board with Lando, who's lost a position, or is losing a position to Ocon up the inside. And we gain it back again, up still in 9th position, as Bottas jockeying for position with Alonso.
Doesn't matter.
Ricciardo has lost a position.
You know, nice job.
Let's have a look at that.
Take a closer look.
It's bad
Have a
news.
watch of this. Looks
It's
like
bad
Ocon.
news for Daniel. So Ocon getting off to a pretty decent start, up the inside of Norris here into the first corner. Norris getting onto the power and
Moving up a position
making it
in
stick,
the
and then obviously Ocon though getting ahead of Daniel in the process. So a good start from the Alpine of Ocon. Never mind. It's a long way to go. A 78 lap race. It's a long one. And we're now stuck in the train, so there's no point of even messing about here. Straight onto balanced, straight onto neutral. We ain't going anywhere fast at this point. We ain't going anywhere fast. Claustrophobic, yeah. Claustrophobic indeed. So we're just going to be switched on. We're just going to be switched on to its incidents, safety cars, virtual safety cars. We're just got to be ready to change strategies, but otherwise we're kind of in a bit of a, well, bit of a procession now. Already it starts. So Leclerc is in first position with Verstappen in second. We've got Perez in third, Sainz in fourth. It looks like there was limited change. Maybe Perez passed Sainz there, because I think maybe Sainz was ahead in the grid. I seem to recall. Hamilton will fall off the back of these quite quickly, I think. Russell, the second Mercedes. So Mercedes 5 and 6 showing their pace compared to the rest of us. Bottas doing very well, still in P7. Qualifying well. Alonso in 8, Norris in 9, and then Ocon bringing up the points paying positions here in P10. Already slipping off the back of Norris, which is pretty good for Norris. Not quite so good for Ricciardo, who's stuck behind. And it looks like we may have some pace on Ocon here, because we're sticking quite close to him, pulling away from Joe, who's already 1.5 behind Ricciardo here. So Ricciardo getting behind Ocon is going to harm his race by the looks of it, because we are quicker. But there you go. It is a tight, twisted track. And over time, the cars have evolved and got longer, got wider and bigger, which makes it even more difficult to pass compared to when the cars used to be lighter and more nimble and a bit smaller. It was still quite difficult. You've only got to watch 1992 Monaco GP to realise how difficult this place is to pass at. Nigel Mansell came in for fresh tyres towards the back end of the race, and he was in a Williams car that was by far the quickest car on the grid, at least a second a lap quicker than any other car, active suspension and all the rest of it. It was a beast of a car, and he won the title within like 8-9 races or something ridiculous. But he came out on fresh tyres behind Ayrton Senna, who was in the McLaren, and I don't think Ayrton was on older tyres, and for I think it was maybe for about 10-15 laps at the end of that race, Mansell on fresh tyres in a car that was by far quicker than Senna's McLaren. And could he pass? He tried everything to get past, couldn't get past. And it's quite a legendary, it is quite a legendary, you know, just watching those closing laps of 1992 Monaco GP, you'll realise how difficult it was to pass. Couldn't get past. It was the only race that the Williams did not win, yeah. The car was insanely good. I was actually looking at the there's not much going on here, is there really, to be honest. I was looking back at some of the best races of the best cars in F1 history. Kind of just, you know, what people's opinions are of the best cars in F1 history ever made, and the 1992 Williams will always be in that conversation. the 1988 McLaren, the Ferrari from 2002, 3, 4, 2004 maybe. Cars that dominated. In fact, one of their Ferraris from the 2000s did 2 seasons. It did 2 seasons, pretty much the same car, which is quite unique. And for me, the Mercedes of 2020 with the DAS system was I mean, obviously their 2014 car was pretty dominant because the engine changed, but the 2020 car for me was an even better car, simply because everyone anticipated that the gap between them and the rest of the field would have been tighter, would have been closer. Ferrari were running them in close in 2018, the Red Bulls were getting quicker, and everything was pointing towards the pack converging at the front because the rules were stable. And obviously we had COVID and that delayed the start of the season, but they didn't work on the cars at that point, so the cars were still as they were at the end of testing, and the car was like a second a lap quicker in the first race. It's like, how on earth? Right, I'm going to focus on Daniel overtaking now. We'll give him some pushing. He's all over the back of him like a rash. Yeah, so where they found that pace from was absolutely unbelievable for 2020. It was like, what's just happened? And I remember watching Drive to Survive and Christian Horner and they were like, what? How are they suddenly a second lap faster? What tricks have they got up their sleeve? Yeah, and the DAS system was a innovative, very good system, but I don't think it was worth a second a lap. It was just a very well designed car. Ferrari 2004. Let's not forget the Red Bulls of the Vettel era as well. Yeah, even the Braun GP car of 2007, or was it 2008? 2008, or maybe 2009. Which car was it? I'm getting my years all muddled up. 2009, yeah, 2009 was quite the marvel. Right, let's see if we can get this done down the pitch straight here. Giving him overtake mode, engine mode, and an aggressive off the corner. It's difficult to pass. The straight isn't long enough, but we're going to give it a try. Here we go, DRS open. He's got the overtake mode on. Can he get it done? Oh, he's going up the inside. He's going up the inside. There we go, Sonny Jim. He's got it done. He's got it done. Look at that. Well done, Daniel. He's pulled off a miracle. He's passed the car in Monaco. It's unheard of. Well done, Sonny Jim. And we have the race pace. I think maybe Ocon's on medium tyres, which is the issue. And now because he's on medium, we've got to go a little bit light on the tyres with both Norris and...
Okay, keep looking after the
because we have got an issue, haven't we, with the tyre wear not quite making it to our pit stop window. So we've got to be a little bit careful with the tyres. But nonetheless, we have made it past with Daniel Ricciardo. Yeah, Red Bull did catch up. Even McLaren caught up, and McLaren were dreadful in 2009. If you remember, McLaren started off that season horrendously slow. It was a miracle that Hamilton won a race that season. Because their car, when they first started that season, was dreadfully slow. Right, is Norris still tucked up behind Alonso? Yes, he is. We've actually got much better tyre wear than these guys. And we were going to struggle. Hang on a second. We're struggling here to make a one-stop work. And these guys have got far worse tyre wear. Are they two-stopping? I mean, we're going to struggle to make it with two stints, with a one-stop here. I do wonder whether or not Alonso and Bottas and Russell, if they're going to have to pit again. Or maybe they're going to conserve a bit later in the stint. I don't know. But they're definitely looking a little bit vulnerable with their tyre wear right now, but that's not a problem. So the only people on mediums, Perez, Sainz and Hamilton, Ocon behind us. So we'll have to pit at the right moment because we've got to make sure that we find a decent gap. We don't want to be pitting ourselves into traffic. because it's going to be tough to pass the traffic, so we've got to make sure that we pit into a gap. Just one extra thing to worry about. One extra thing to worry about. Right, this is a DRS train, so there's no point of messing around too much with Norris. Ricciardo pretty much got Ocon covered, even though he's preserving his tyres. It's not a problem for now. We can turn the heat up on the tyres on the engine when we start to look at when we're coming in for our first stint. Put the hammer down. But anyway, in other news, I just started playing Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, do you know what? I love that game. I know it wasn't finished, but technically speaking, I love that game. I love that game. We could tell Ricciardo to block Ocon off, but I don't think there's a need to. We're already far enough ahead of Ocon with Norris. We're not really needing to block anybody off at the moment. The fact that we're conserve, we could actually even conserve probably on the engine to give ourselves some fuel later in the race to push with, just in case we want to undercut people and stuff. And we'll probably still stick to the back. And we're not in DRS range, but we're not exactly like a million miles away, are we? We're about 1.3 seconds. We're not like desperately far away. It'd be nice to get into that kind of DRS zone, but we're quite happy with our position right now. Definitely conserving the tyres. Just playing the long game here. Ocon's not getting any pace to pass. I doubt it. I don't think Ocon's passing anytime soon. I mean, his tyres will be better than ours a little bit later in the stint because he's got mediums on. So, but I mean, if we're conserving our tyres, then I mean, look, the tyre wear differential between us and him is going to be quite similar. Our tyres drop off a little bit more, 0.02 of a second, or is it 200ths? 200ths of a second per lap. More than the mediums, but at this time the softs should still be quicker than the mediums. Still quite happy with our pace here. Still quite happy with our pace. Very happy with our tyre wear right now. We're above the line with both drivers, which is fine. And yeah, he's not all over the back of us like a rash. So yeah, we've got him covered off. Right, Norris. Still quite satisfied here. We know that as soon as we turn this up a little bit and maybe even give ourselves a bit of this as well, we could certainly close that gap back down again quite easily. So we're just in conserve mode, wait and see mode. So I think we're going to double speed this because there's just nothing going on right now. And keep your eyes peeled, folks, because if something happens, or gaps start to appear, just tell me quickly. I hate speeding through things like this, but I mean, it's only 2-speed, isn't it? It's not bad, and we can clearly see the gap still. It's 1.5 seconds there. Hamilton 4 seconds behind there. Russell a couple of seconds behind Hamilton. Bottas all over the back of Russell. Alonso's there too. Norris just at 1.9 is just beginning to fall, but this will help us because don't forget, we know that we've got better tyre than Alonso. It's fine. This is all part of the long game. Ricciardo, even with the conserve, is still keeping a healthy gap. It's broken the DRS range. Yep, definitely has there. 1.5 seconds. Round Rascasse and down the pit straight for another lap. So, yeah, still, Leclerc 3 seconds ahead of Verstappen, so he's looking quite comfortable there. Verstappen's been in some good form, back-to-back wins, I seem to recall, for Verstappen, but he's struggling to keep up with the Ferrari today. But we know the Ferrari strategy will screw Leclerc over. It's only a matter of time. Verstappen will win the race. You know, it's inevitable, really. 74% on the tyres. I don't know what these different colours mean. Because it was blue there for a second. It's gone white again. I'm not sure. Not sure what that means. Does it mean anything? Anybody know? People there? People that have got like apartments that overlook the track, you know, getting a free, you know, race side seat, basically. 1.6 seconds the gap to Alonso, looking pretty good. 1.7 the gap to Ocon, again looking pretty good. Probably means you're above the tyre lifeline. Hey Damon, watching the FA Cup on today? Nope, I don't tend to watch football. I've got better things to do, like record stuff for you guys and, you know, horse racing. Earn a few pennies, you know. Football's always on at the most inopportune of moments, isn't it? Saturdays, Sundays, usually when you're busy. If it's on midweek and I've not got anything on, I'll watch it, but otherwise I'll just check in on Twitter or whatever, see the scores. To sit down for 90 minutes and just watch a game of football is just like, yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. If I had it on a separate screen, maybe I might, but nah. The only sport that I watch and sit down and take the time to actually watch is this, F1. It's the only sport I will sit down and watch and not do anything else. Like put my entire focus on it. If I watch football, it's in the background. If I watch darts, it's in the background, you know. Anything else? So Norris is doing pretty well. 70% the tyre wear. Let's have a look at the other people. 68, 69, 55, a whole 13% ahead. These guys are going to have to two-stop, I'm telling you. And that's going to cripple them because they're going to get stuck in traffic. And because our tyre wear is better than Alonso, we're now, look at that, we're now catching. We're now in the DRS almost of Alonso. I think we could probably pass Alonso. If he doesn't have DRS on Bottas, I think we could go for Alonso, you know. I think we could do it. I think we could set something up here. Hang on, let's just take this down a second. I think we could set something up here on Alonso in the next couple of laps or so with Norris. I think Alonso's probably in conserve mode now himself, his tyres, because his tyres are obviously much worse shape. And if he's going to make this into a one-stop, he's going to have to start conserving his tyres at some point. So I reckon now that he's conserving, if we can switch our tyres to even just to standard, turn the engine up, put the deployment on, I think we've got a chance here. Snooker? I only watch the World Championships. And only then if Ronnie O'Sullivan's playing. Otherwise I don't watch snooker either. Went to the Hungary GP last year. Oh, don't make me jealous. I say that as if, you know, I'm not able to go to a GP myself. It just means that I have to book it, organise it and go and pay for it. It's not a problem. I could do it, but I just don't. But I did say that I wanted to go to a GP, live GP, whilst Hamilton is racing. Because if I don't, I'm going to kick myself. So I might go to a race this year. It might be too late to even book it now. I remember you going to the Belgium GP Cham. I remember seeing that. That would be the race that I would choose to go to. Would be Spa, if I had to go to one. Spa or maybe Spain, just because Spain is nice and warm. You know, go to the race. Some cruises actually do. I see it in the paper. Some cruises, because you can get on a cruise ship at Barcelona. So the cruise ships. You do the GP weekend, and then you get on a cruise straight after, and do a cruise. It's like a GP cruise weekend thing. I've seen that a couple of times. That would be quite an interesting thing to do. Tickets weren't too expensive. Accommodation in Hungary was cheap. I like Hungary actually. It's quite a difficult track to pass on. Not as difficult as Monaco, but it's one of Hamilton's favourite circuits, and he does really well in Hungary more often than not. So it'd be quite a good one to go to. I wouldn't go to Silverstone, simply because I've got a bit of an issue with Silverstone after they didn't let me rebook my missed race experience. So I took my bat and ball. I'm never coming to Silverstone. Screw you guys, you miserable sods. Right, okay, so I think we're going to set up a pass on Alonso for the pit straight here. So we're going to give Norris some pushing on the engine. We're going to put his tyres up. And we're going to go... Not deployment just yet. So look at that, look at that, look at this. We're over it. We're getting there. We're getting there. I think we could pass him on the straight here. On the pit straight. I think we could do a number on him. Right, we're going aggressive. I'm going overtake.
If you can, push.
Push, 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 push. Push, push, push. We're now all over the back of Alonso now. Alonso's tyres probably a bit more worn. He's tried to conserve them. Ooh, we seem to be a bit far back. You're pulling out. This is the wrong side to be going, or is it the right side to be going? We're cruising round him, and off we go. First corner. Easy as you like. Back into light, back into balance, back into neutral. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ricardo's 5 seconds. 6.9.
Gain a position.
5 seconds behind. 4 seconds. How's he so far behind? Okay, well, we are 1.9 ahead of Ocon there, so we've still got 3.9. Thinking, should we start to give Ricardo a bit of juice? But I don't think so. I think we're quite happy with him being in 10th at the moment. He is going to naturally close in on Alonso anyway, because Alonso seems to be struggling a little bit with the tyres now. So our next port of call is Bottas in 7th. 1.5. Bottas doesn't have DRS on the Mercedes. Bottas's tyres, 59. 47 to our 59. I think Norris can get Bottas here. Couple of laps time. Yes, excited to see the car releases and testing ahead of next month, and bold predictions for next year. The rules haven't, things haven't changed, have they? The regulations haven't changed too much. I think there's been a slight tweaking here or there, but the regulations are pretty stable. So there's not going to be much of a shake-up between last year and this year. Obviously, Red Bull have less testing time because of their penalty for breaching the cost cap. But that's not going to hamper them too much, I don't think. They were already quite far ahead of most of the others. Their car was pretty decent last year, so I don't think it's going to be too detrimental to them. I think they should have suffered a worse penalty than they got. But what's going to be quite interesting, actually, is the Ferraris, because the Ferraris have undergone a change of leadership. Vassar, the old Alfa Romeo boss, has come in because the other guy, I can't remember what we're called now, got sacked, pretty much. So, and he's also been the guy that used to be the Ferrari team principal. What's he called now? I've forgotten his name. Was also embroiled in some kind of scandal with Juventus, wasn't he, as well, recently? So the Mercedes, Binotto, that's the fella. The Mercedes were catching the Ferraris, right? Back in the last season, the Ferraris and the Mercedes were much closer than they were at the start of the season. The Red Bulls were still a step ahead of both of them by the end of the season. So, given that the Mercedes understand where their problems were last year and have time to fix them this year, I don't believe they're changing their side pod concept either. I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a forward step Mercedes make. But they've undergone a bit of change with their chief strategist and, you know, Jamie Vowles, whatever, has gone to Williams, and a few other staff have gone to Williams too. So there's been a bit of change internally for Mercedes. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can make that forward step. I don't think they're going to. I think Mercedes will be ahead of Ferrari. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that Mercedes will be ahead of Ferrari, but I still think Red Bull will have just enough in the tank. As much as it pains me to say, I hope I'm wrong, I really do. But I hope that Mercedes pull out a miracle, you know, a la 2020 and find a second per lap from somewhere. It would be nice, but I'm not hopeful. I think Red Bull will still be the team. Well, clearly will be the team to beat. I don't think Mercedes will close the gap completely, but I reckon they will be closer than they were last season. We'll see. Okay, so we're not catching Bottas as much as I thought we were. Ricciardo is catching, however, Alonso. We're in a bit of a pickle here because we'll skip the time a little bit. We're coming up to the first stops soon, and I'm still intrigued as to what Alonso is going to do at 40% tyre life. They ain't going to make a set of hard tyres last. I don't think. We'll see. Ricciardo is gaining on Alonso. It was 4 seconds. It's now 2.6. It's not enough for us to start pushing just yet, but we don't want to compromise our strategy, and our strategy is preserve these tyres. Now let's just quickly check. We're actually, look at that. We're well above here. We're nicely above that line. So actually, now is the time to probably start thinking about setting up our run towards our pit window by turning the tyres up to balanced now. Yeah, I think Mercedes will come back. I think they will. I think they've got a good team. You know, good driver pairing, obviously good leadership. I think they, you know, it's only a matter of time before they get their act together. I hope it doesn't go the way of teams of the past that used to dominate, and then as soon as they got past, they're never seen again. You know, Red Bull's dominance ended, and then they didn't win a title for how many years? 9 years? 8 years? 9 years? Ferrari, when they were dominant in the 2000s, when was the last time they won anything? 2008? Kimi Raikkonen's world title? So, you know, as soon as it's knocked off your perch, it's not a guaranteed that you're going to get back again, is it? Right, let's slow that down because we've got Norris now gaining quickly on Bottas. We've turned up the pushing on the tyres because we can afford to, and now we're gaining on Bottas. Ricciardo gaining on Alonso. We've got a tyre differential. We've got better shaped tyres than they have. They're seriously trying to conserve their tyres now. We've conserved early and now pushing later in the stint. They've conserved or pushed early, obviously conserving later. Norris will be our first attempt at a pass here. Can we get Norris past Bottas and Ricciardo past Alonso within the next couple of laps? Let's see if we can. Yeah. Yeah, nobody disputes the fact that Verstappen is a good driver, clearly, but I just find him a tad arrogant. He's a very dislikable fella. I think he's overly aggressive at times on the track, and I think I think he's been moulded by a team that's just very poisonous, very toxic. You've got that Helmut Marko, who I can't stand him. Horner, oh, I wouldn't piss on him if we're on fire. And you've got, we've got leaders like that behave in a certain way. It rubs off, doesn't it? Let's be honest. His father's no shining angel either. There's been a few rumours about his father in the past and his antics. But yeah, Bottas, is he lapping a car? Yeah, I think we were too far away here to make this work, but we're going to give it at least one try. We've entered our pit window. Seems a bit early. Ooh, can we pass up here? That would be quite the manoeuvre. No. Oh! Hang on. Ooh. Okay.
Just be careful with this tyre.
We'll set this pass up for the pit straight.
Alright.
We've got a lapped car ahead of us, slowing him down. And look at that, 4/10 to Alonso. Pit stop strategy will be the most exciting part of the race. Yep, it usually is in Monaco. If there's no variable weather, it's usually the pit strategy that get out of my way, you stupid idiot! Look how much his hamper does there. You blast, damn Latifi! Flipping ass. Yeah. Latifi that binned it in flipping Abu Dhabi, brought a safety car out, and the rest was history. Moron. Not that I'm bitter or anything. Poor fella got death threats, didn't he? Right, okay. So actually, maybe these guys have made their tyres last. They're definitely eking them out, though. 32%. Are they going to... You see, I think we have to push here, because I think undercutting... What we have to also appreciate now is where we're going to come out, because I think the total time lost in the pits is about... it's about 25 seconds here, so that's going to put us round about, what, 50, 25, 20, 56. Going to bring us out round about here. It's not really a gap for us to go into, is there? If we're honest. I think going longer in clear air is probably better than coming in sooner on and then coming out on fresher tyres but being stuck in traffic. So I think we take these tyres to as far as they can go. Let these other guys that have got worse tyres pit, come out in a mixer here, maybe get held up for a couple of laps, especially if these guys are on medium tyres. They ain't pitting anytime soon. So if these guys come in and get into this mix, they're going to be held up. So we need to make sure that we make our tyres last so that we come into the pits as late as possible. And that means that we'll miss the traffic, and I'm hoping that'll be to our favour. We'll see. Unless anybody else has got any bright ideas. But I think going long here is going to be beneficial. So Verstappen has already pitted. He's come in for a set of hards, just a one stop. He's out and just about ahead of everybody else. And let's see if let's see what the Ferrari boys do, shall we? With their genius strategy team. We should really be passing Alonso with Ricciardo, probably. Oh, he's going to pass him without my assistance. without ERS, without engine mode. Just help yourself past. He's not passed though properly. Look at this, we're side by side. Okay, let's give him a bit of engine. Let's give him a bit of that. No, wrong way round. Give him a bit of engine. Give him a bit of that. Make the move stick. Here we go. Side by side. Coming into Casino Square here. Side by side. There we go. Now he's made it stick. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Well done, Ricciardo. Well done, Ricciardo. And Ricciardo's only like 3.7 seconds behind Norris, so it's going pretty well. Going pretty well. Undercut would be probably better. It depends. Because I said, if you try to come in early and get stuck in traffic, then the undercut isn't really favourable here. I don't think it's going to be too favourable. It depends where these guys come out in the pits after their pit stop. Leclerc's in the pits, Russell's in the pits. I'm thinking clear track. So this is going to be interesting, because now what we need to see is where do Russell and Bottas come out. This is important. This is very important now. Where do these two come out? Let's see. If they come out into traffic, then we go longer. If they come out in clear air, we need to be coming in now. Optimal pit stop. No, ignore that. Ignore that. Ignore that. Right, here comes Bottas. No, ignore. Okay, here's Russell. Russell coming out into the mire. Where is he coming out? Where's he coming out? He's coming out. That looks like clear air to me. Ocon is round that corner. Russell is at the bottom of the hill. Bottas has come out just behind his teammate. Okay, I think they've come out in a gap. I think they've just come out nicely into a gap here, which means that we're going to have to start thinking about going quite hard here. Quite hard. Here we go.
100% pace, 100% pace.
We're not coming in this lap though. We're not coming in this lap. We're going to come in a couple of laps time. Maybe create a bit of a tyre offset so that we have fresher hard tyres. It's not going to be that many laps differential, but it should be enough to maybe make a difference. We'll see. A safety car right now would be perfect, because we'd get a cheap stop. Somebody want to crash? Anyone want to crash? Right, we're going to make Norris come in, not this lap, but next lap. So one more lap after this for Norris. So Norris coming round now. He's going to hammer time. It's definitely hammer time. Full pedal to the metal. Here he comes. And it's going to have to be neutral on the deployment, because clearly a fresh set of hards. Pit this lap.
Confirming we're box this lap.
Daniel is going to have to come in the lap after, so just not take too much life out of the tyres.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
So this is it.
Okay, understood.
This is it. Where's Bottas? Has he been slowed down by his own teammate? That would be quite handy if his own teammate were to slow him down, and we might be able to leapfrog him with with Norris, sorry. So who hasn't stopped yet? The leaders haven't stopped. Hamilton, Sainz, Perez. Joe hasn't stopped. Ocon is the one that we're most interested in, because he was battling with Ricciardo, don't forget. Okay, so Russell coming in this lap, right as the tyres are going off. We've taken every last inch out of these tyres. We've basically
Save fuel from now, please.
basically
Save fuel
timed
from
it to
now.
perfection.
Confirm.
Really, here he comes. Here he comes.
Pit lane.
And here's Daniel
Okay, understood.
coming out and round for his
Just remind you to use the pit limiter. in
final
the-
lap of his first stint. Pit options onto a set of hards. Pit this lap. Where's Norris coming out? Here we go.
Now,
Is he going to leapfrog Russell? Probably not. But is he going to leapfrog Bottas? Where is Bottas? He's not even on the pit straight yet. We have leapfrogged Bottas. We have definitely done that one. Well done, Sonny Jim. Look at that. Right out in front of them. Push. Give him a bit of engine pushing. Look at that. We've made it work. We've made it work. We're leapfrog Bottas in the pit strategies. Going longer has definitely helped. Nicely done. And we can now go to balanced. And balanced.
big lifts.
And Bottas ain't passing us. You ain't passing on this track, Mr. Bottas. No siree. Right, let's see what's happening with Ricciardo. Ricciardo's pedal to the metal. Pedal to the metal. He's trying to get ahead of Ocon, who hasn't pit yet, but will pit later. I don't think Daniel's going to leapfrog Bottas here too.
Daniel,
Would
pit
be
lane.
nice if he could.
Understood.
Now to defend for 46 laps.
Speed limiter. Speed limiter.
46 laps of defending. Yeah. Set of hards going on. Exiting the pit lane. Where's Bottas and Russell? Here they come, down the pit straight. They're definitely going to be ahead of Ricciardo. Here they come, yep, both coming out. And Joe's going to have to pit anyway. So, yeah, we knew that was happening though. And just go straight into balanced. And, yeah, play the long game. Most importantly though, we're ahead of Alonso. That's the most important thing. And we'll be ahead of Ocon, because by the time he pits on his worn mediums, we'll be ahead of him too. In fact, we're already quite close to him. So, yeah, things working out pretty well for us on those pit stops. And we should have enough, if we go balanced for the entirety of this race, to have enough life in the tyres to make it to the end. So, here comes Ocon. Ocon into the pits. Yeah, we've got this well covered. Well covered. Joe's coming in at some point too, so that's two positions that Ricciardo will make up. So I'm reckoning 8th and 9th, 7th and 9th is going to be our finishing positions, if things don't go a bit messy with safety cars and whatever else. So, yeah, look at that. Ocon really suffering there. starting on the mediums wasn't the best strategy, I don't think. But look how much closer Verstappen is to Leclerc.
Sonoda box.
What did I tell you about Ferrari's strategy and screwing him over? He had like a 4-second gap over Verstappen before those pit stops, and now he's right back into the mire. Unless, of course, he's been held up by Hamilton, which is a possibility, who's now coming into the pits. Will Hamilton come out ahead of us? Where are we? Okay, we're quite far away. We're quite far back from Hamilton. Hamilton's a bit further up the road than we thought. I was thinking maybe, just maybe, could we come out ahead of Hamilton? Would it be possible? Clearly not. Clearly not. I mean, he's still tootling out. Nah, we're still too far. Still too far. Yeah, he's well out there. Well out there. He's in his own little. He's in his own little world. Look at that. Well behind Perez and well ahead of his teammate. Just a nice little Sunday drive in 5th position for Mr. Hamilton. Anyway, Norris is the best of the rest at the moment. Best of the rest. P7 behind the top 3 teams. Sandwiched between the McLarens are the 2 Alfa Romeos. And Ricciardo is struggling to get past the Alfa Romeo of Joe, who's going to be coming into the pits probably. Oh, he's on a set of hards. He started on the hard tyre first. Oh, we better get past him quite quickly then, otherwise he's going to really seriously hamper our race. Hang on a second, folks. We have to orchestrate a manoeuvre here. We have to orchestrate a manoeuvre because Alonso is gaining on us whilst we're stuck behind this fella, which is bad news. So, yeah, we need to get past, otherwise we're going to have Alonso and Ocon over the back of us, and that's not ideal, let's be honest. Right, okay. So we should get him on the pit straight. We've got much fresher tyres. We'll give him all of the beans that he needs.
You need to push.
Understood.
Okay, so this should be a done deal, right? This should be a done deal. There we go. Full beans. Go, 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 go. Oh, it's like he's getting out of our way. He's waving us through. There we go. Let's hope that you hold Alonso up a little bit and give us a bit of breathing room.
Copy. You're doing a good job.
Okay, so that was a very simple passing manoeuvre there. Nothing too adventurous. Just the DRS down the straight, and the guy might as well have parked his car and waved us by. So Norris in 7th. Behind the Mercedes of Russell, 3.8 is the gap. It's not coming down, it's going up. So we're pace-wise where we need to be. Bottas is just about hanging on, 2.5 or so, but we've got him covered. Ricciardo hampered by Joe, 5 seconds behind Bottas. Joe is now holding up Alonso, which is music to our ears. Let's ride aboard Alonso here, see if he gets past or when he gets past. Keep holding him up, that's it. Keep holding him up. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Can Ricciardo catch Bottas? No. No, he can't. Will be my guess. We could save tyre life for a push at the end. See if that would work. Okay, here we go. Alonso, DRS on Joe, but he can't make it. Look at that. He's not doing what we're doing. He's struggling to get past. Absolutely struggling to get past here. Which is good for us. Gives Daniel Ricciardo some lovely breathing room. Norris, yep, 4 seconds still, 1.5 to Bottas. We are passing lapped cars, which is fine. Not really hampering us too much. There we go. Can Alonso get him this time? No. Clearly not using his DRS properly. Oh, looking a bit closer there, but still not. This is like 1992 all over again. Right, okay, so Leclerc has got into some clear air, and now that it's in clear air, he's pulling ahead now of Verstappen. Sainz has now leapfrogged Perez for a Ferrari 1 and 3 rather than a Ferrari 1 and 4. 14 seconds behind Perez's Hamilton, such as the speed differential between the top two teams and the Mercedes right now. Russell a further 10 seconds behind his teammate Hamilton. Norris just trying his best to cling on to Russell. Let's look at the tyre life. Got slightly better tyres. Nothing too major that's going to be creating an offset though. We will push these tyres a little bit later in the race because I think we've got a little bit of pushing in us if we need it, but ultimately we're kind of just in a bit of no man's land. Ricciardo 8 seconds behind Bottas, so he's dropping back behind Bottas, but we've got a gap to Joe. So I don't really do this that often, but I think a bit of 4-speed is perfectly fine here. We're kind of in clean air with both cars and not likely to overtake or lose a position either. Alonso's still caught up behind Joe here, and it's really harming his race, which is perfect for us. 7th and 9th was what I said we would finish in if all went well and there was no major dramas. 7th and 9th I think is the likely finishing position. Still got the potential for safety cars though, and the question would be, if a safety car comes out, do we pit for softer tyres? Do we keep track position? Ooh, what do we do? Could be a bit of drama. Then again, there might not be. It might just be like this for the entire race. Welcome to Monaco, folks. Great place to visit, you know. Racing here though, not marvellous. Right. In the meantime, I'm going to go get my dinner, and I can eat my dinner while this is happening. Go get yourself something to eat as well. Right, well, I'm going to eat my dinner. Ocon might be looking to do the same. Looks like Alonso passed Joe. Right, okay, so we're going to turn it down to 2-speed. No, we'll do it to 1-speed. While I'm eating, we'll do it in 1-speed. Gives me more time to eat. Anyway, so Alonso has got past, but he's 11 seconds behind Ricciardo. So we'll keep an eye on that gap. Norris has got it nicely covered to Bottas. So I've got a nice homemade cheeseburger with fried onions, tomato sauce, some chips, far too many chips, and the perfect accompaniment to a burger and chips. Cauliflower and carrots with a kind of peppercorn sauce. Kind of goes with burger and chips, doesn't it? Bit of veg. Anyway, I'll be back with you when something happens or I finish my dinner. Okay, sorry about that. Back with you now. And that's why, when you ask the question about going on the hard tyre first, why it's a bad choice in this particular race, because he's on fresh, soft tyres now, which means that he could probably make a few places up, because he's got the fastest tyres on the track right now. However, he's going to end up getting stuck and struggling to pass cars because of the track. If it was a track like Spa, which is easy to pass on, or Azerbaijan with its very, very long straight, then it wouldn't be too bad, because you'd fly past this car, you know, get up to these cars. Whereas now, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets stuck behind Sonoda. I mean, Sonoda hasn't got DRS, which might be a saving grace here. But no, it's not past him yet, you see. So, it's a little bit hampered. Can't make those tyres work as well as he needs to do to get his positions back that he's lost from going long on the hards from the first stint. So that's why it's a bad idea. Okay, so we're back with Norris, Ricciardo, both of them very comfortable to the end of the race here. So 4 speed all the way, I think, maybe even 8 speed. An F1 watch-along stream. That'd be quite cool. These kind of watch-along streams, because somebody mentioned a Last of Us watch-along stream, they'd have to be done on Discord, clearly, because you couldn't do it on YouTube, because it'd be copyrighted. So but we could do like a Discord watch-along session or two of some stuff if you want. I mean, I'm going to be watching the race anyway. Anyway, so I had my burger. So it wasn't. Oh, somebody asked, Rustler's burger. It was bloody hell, Rustler's. I mean, it wasn't homemade. Don't get me wrong, but it was a proper quarter pounder beef burger. I think they're from Lidl. Proper, really nice quarter pounder, one of their deluxe ones. And it was that thick. It was cut in half. Cut the patty into 2 to make sure it cooked properly. You can do it on YouTube without the actual race. Yeah, but that's boring. Because if people haven't got it, at least if I can stream it onto, say, Discord, where there's no copyright issues, I don't think, because we're not recording it, it's just a live stream. That's still problematic, to be honest with you, isn't it? Really, to be honest. But you know, I could stream my stream the actual race, so that if people haven't got Sky or whatever to watch it, then they can still watch it. You see, but I'm sure there's probably some issues with that. I'd have to look into it. I don't want to be, you know, falling foul of any copyright laws, do I? Yeah, so it'd have to be, we all watch our own version of it, but I'm just streaming, because people do it. I've seen football streams doing it, football streamers. They watch along whilst the game's on. So the game's playing, and they're clearly watching it or listening to it, and you're just watching their reactions, really. Which is, I suppose, kind of fun as well. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything that's going to get me into trouble. Certainly not. I mean, having copyright issues on YouTube for gaming videos is one thing, because you never get touch wood. I've never had a copyright strike in 13 years. But you get copyright notices to say so and so's claimed this music, therefore you can't monetize it or whatever. Fine, not a problem. You know, those kind of copyright things. But if you were to start streaming something on Sky, that would be definitely copyright strike territory, wouldn't it? It would be catastrophic. The channel could be shut down. 13 years of hard work, all up in the flames. Right, well, Norris is trying to lap a hell of a lot of cars. Yeah, we'd have to all watch it ourselves and just have a commentary. You know, we all just chew the fat. 8 laps to go. Excuse me. Bottas is closing on us, but simply because we're trying to lap cars. It seems he's lapping the cars slightly more efficiently than we are. It's the age-old problem. It's the age-old problem of being the first car that comes through when you're lapping cars, because you're coming through and the other drivers, oh, there's a car coming, and they kind of dither a little bit to get out of the way because, hey, you're the first one coming through. And then because they're then switched on when the other car comes through behind you, they're already in that kind of, oh, there's another car coming, so they pull out a bit quicker. So as you're the first one to get past, you always usually end up being the one that's most hampered. But anyway, we're still pulling that gap out again. We've got enough life in the tyres to put them on push. We've got enough fuel to put it on push if we needed to. We don't need to. We're too far back to push to get onto Russell. We're too far back to push here. We're just kind of in a no man's land. We could even really save the engine here, engine life, with Ricciardo by going on to conserve. Alonso's not going to catch him. Norris hasn't got quite so much of a gap to be completely switched off. Although we have lapped a car, he's going to have to lap these two, so we're going to pull out a decent gap here. We could try it for the last 3 laps. Just cruising round, save a bit of the engine, because these engines have got to last to the end of the season. 3 engines to last you all season. Clearly we're going to create a 4th engine and take a penalty, because that's what everybody else will do. So we'll join the penalty party, maybe round about Spa-ish. Create a brand new engine, take the penalty, 10 place grid drop for a new engine. Hence why you do it on a track that you can pass on. And hang on a second, we've got a bit of drama here. Closing seconds, we have a yellow flag as Mick Schumacher has put it in the barrier.
Replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Just completely got his line all wrong. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in there. And he is out of the race. And that's going to be a safety car.
And that was a...
It's got to be a safety car. Oh, no, he's got... Oh, he's got going. He's got going. He's got moving again. Little bit of drama there, as we actually on the last lap. If you've been lapped, this is the final lap. Where's Leclerc? He hasn't lapped Norris. He's lapped Ricciardo though. So this is Ricciardo's last lap. Oh no, next lap is last lap. Sorry. So Ricciardo will technically finish before Norris, because he'll have to do 77 laps. And we'll have to do the full 78 because we haven't been lapped. Is that right? Am I reading this right? Leclerc should be on this last lap now, right? Leclerc is crossing the line to finish the race, I think.
2 laps to go.
On the interval on, if you don't mind. Leclerc passes the finish line. Nope, this is the last lap now. Apologies, a bit premature there. Hello, Nagisa. A bit of action there, a bit of late drama. So we're riding on board with Lando Norris on the final lap. Well, it's not his final lap, actually. He'll have to do one more after this one. So his penultimate lap. But this is Ricciardo's final lap because he's been lapped. Yeah. Which race was it? There was a race, I think it was 2020, where there was some confusion about the last lap. And it was Hamilton. It involved Hamilton. There was like a confusion. They thought the race finished either a lap earlier than it was supposed to. They got a bit confused. Something had happened. No, where's Leclerc? Leclerc's not that fast, is he? No. RPG grinding. Well, we have finished Monaco so quickly because we've 4-speeded some of it and 2-speeded most of it because of the processional nature that we're going to have time for another. Well, we're going to have time to practice and qualify for the next race. So Norris's last lap. Ricciardo is going to finish. So there you go. Leclerc wins to get Ferrari back on the top step of the podium. Verstappen takes second. Not great for his championship hopes. The championship leader signs in third, so that his lead is being closed down as we speak. And Perez finishing in fourth. Hamilton is in no man's land in fifth. Russell's going to finish in sixth, barring a catastrophe. Ricciardo is the first car to finish of the lapped cars, which means he's finished now. Norris clearly will only finish when he crosses the line this time. But he's got a 1.5 second gap to Bottas. He's conserving the engine. We can afford to push the tyres though if we wanted to, and we could also afford to deploy the last bit of ERS if we needed to, just to make sure that nothing untoward happens. Through the swimming pool section, approaching the Rascasse bar, sharp right-hander, past the statue of Fangio, and across the line to finish in P7, which is, well,
That is the checkered flag.
the best we could have hoped for. We were always going to be slower than the Mercedes here. It's a slow, low-speed circuit, which is not our strong point. We put much more of a fight on the high-speed circuits, given our design focus. So we're, 7th and 9th. Very happy with that. Very happy indeed.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him.
Potter getting a tune out of his team once again. High hopes for next season's, folks. High hopes for next season.
A fantastic result. For
Now I'm
McLaren
thinking.
It's really wonderful to see
Okay,
all the
quiet. I'm thinking, right, that next season we go all in. Now, I don't think we're going to have a car that's going to be like the best on the grid, but I think we're going to have a car that's going to be closer. So I'm thinking we go all out and spend our entire fortune, because we're not going to be spending much. We're not going to do any building work, any facilities work next season. So no money to spend on facilities, no money to spend on staff, because we're keeping exactly the same staff. So I'm thinking that obviously we're going to be developing the car as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But I'm thinking we go all in and we hire, if he's not going to retire this season, Lewis Hamilton. Stick him in the McLaren. He started his career with them. He can end his career with them. Can we give him a championship winning car next season? And even if we can't, having a driver of his calibre is going to raise the performance of the car with his driving ability. I think we go for Lewis Hamilton for next season. What do you think? I'm thinking goodbye Daniel, hello Lewis. Lewis and Lando be the dream team in the McLaren next season. I think it's a doer. I think it's a possibility. Right, anyway, here's the classification. Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Russell finishing one position higher than his grid position, Lando finishing one higher than his grid position, Valtteri Bottas 2 positions lost there. Pit strategy not helping him. Lando leapfrogging in the pits, remember. Daniel Ricciardo making up 1 position at Fernando Alonso's expense. Clearly not preserving his soft tyres efficiently enough, got passed by Daniel and then got held up by Joe, who was on the hard tyre. Day to forget for him, but he still picks up the last points paying position. Fastest lap of the race goes to Carlos Sainz. So that means for the Drivers' Championship, 9 points gained by Leclerc on Sainz, which means the gap between the 2 Ferraris now is only 10 points. And 2 points gained on the leader by Max Verstappen, who is 29 points behind. Still got a lot of work to do. Red Bull have to start developing their car because the Ferrari's still looking the faster outfit right now. Perez in 4th position, some way back. And then Lewis Hamilton bringing up the best of the rest. Lando Norris exceeding expectations in 6th position in the driver's standings. A fantastic effort there. Daniel Ricciardo down in P9. And so the constructors' title looks a little like this. Ferrari gaining ground on Red Bull there, pulling away, I should say. Red Bull falling back by 11 points, and that is a mammoth gap in the constructors. Is it insurmountable? We shall soon see. Mercedes in a clear 3rd, but they are Gonna be keeping one eye on the McLaren, which has clearly taken a step forward after some upgrades recently. We're only 19 points behind them at the moment. We'll see if we can make it to P3 come the end of the season. Alfa Romeo in P5. A development point for Mr. Norris, which is very nice, and of course, because our drivers didn't meet their bonus expectations, we get the full $5 million rather this time around. Woohoo! And we have upgraded our design centre facility, which means we now can create 3 projects at a time. Happy days. Right, so, important emails. Patrick Stafford, exceeding expectations. Of course we are. And the design centre is complete. So our first task of today's session is, well, first task of our session post-race, is to, first of all, actually, we need to look at designing another chassis. Manufacture another chassis, just normal, that's fine. Because Daniel Ricciardo damaged the chassis when he crashed, and a front wing in practice in Monaco. Binned it into the first corner barrier. And likewise, we're going to need another front wing as well. So we'll get that manufactured too. So that's fine. Am I building the right wings here? Yeah, it's the second wing. It's the first chassis. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're designing our third front wing, which is fine. We're designing our second rear wing. Our next design clearly has to be our third floor, because it's the third floor that will get the expertise boost from the first floor that we designed, because we used Intense. So we need to design another floor as well, so we'll get that done now. We're not doing any research just yet for next season's car at the moment. Another underfloor. We're going to put the last hours in. So that's 3 projects. Next ATR period is 28 days. All this will refresh. We'll look at getting another rear wing. Yeah, once we've finished our wings, I want 4 front wings. So I want 2 wings designed with expertise Intense, and then the third wing, or the fourth wing technically, and the fourth floor of all front, rear, etc. will be then designed normally and as quickly as possible to get a second expertise boost, and then we're done for the season. So we're looking at 4 wings, 4 floors for the season, and then rather than doing side pods, chassis, and what's the other part? Side pods, chassis, something else. We're going to do research to offset the rule change, technical rule change for next season. Anyway, that is as much time as we're going to put into it, and as per usual, we're going to... Now, how did I do this? I did it this way, didn't I? Because the actual rule change is affecting low speed cornering, so we're stepping it like that, aren't we, in preparation for that. We're taking the airflow down a notch because it increases cornering, and we're taking drag reduction down a notch as well because that also increases cornering. So notch down, tapered in favour of low speed. Development settings, I'm going to go with 3 engineers Intense, which is 76 days. We have still more engineers. I think 70 days is better. 8th of August, 4 engineers. We could go the whole 5 and take it down to 65, but do we do that? Our engineers don't need to do anything else. But the longer it goes on, the more expertise gain you get. So it's kind of a bit of a balancing act. Right, I'm thinking 70 days. We'll 76, 14th of August. I'll go 14th of August. Why not? Right, three engineers, intense approach, 3 million. So that's our third underfloor. Perfect. Right, so we've got underfloor part 3 coming, wing part 3 coming far sooner, rear wing part 2, our first rear wing will be coming in 31 days. So that's all looking pretty nice. So that's our research sorted. Lando Norris has got development points, so we're going to put that into something completely random. When I finally get my random number generator on. Taking a while. There we go. Right, so it's 1 to 9. 6. Got there in the end. Smoothness, which is good for reducing tyre wear. Now that is pretty useful. Okay, excellent. So he's 22. He's only got average growth potential, which is interesting for a 22-year-old. Such as the nature of F1 nowadays, you know, it's just literally it's a young man's sport. Back in the 90s and the the 80s and stuff, the average age of the grid would have been far older. I think Kimi Raikkonen came in. I think Kimi Raikkonen actually, when he came in, he first drove for Sauber, right? He joined F1 round about what, 2002? He replaced Hakkinen. So Hakkinen retired 2001, so I think Raikkonen must have been 2002. In the McLaren, maybe. But he joined the Sauber first, actually. So it might have been even 99-ish. 99, 2000. Somebody Google it. It might be even 98. I think it might be 99, actually. But anyway, because I remember the hoo-ha, he didn't have a super license. And he was like maybe 19, 18, 19 at the time. So I think he may well have been one of the very early, like real youngsters, because it was quite rare for somebody that young to be in F1, and I think he was one of the first to set the trend, I suppose, maybe. Do you think you'll give Forza Motorsport a try when it comes out at the end of this year? Yes, I bloody well will, especially if it comes on the PC. Yeah, that's the thing. He didn't do enough races to get a super license. I remember there was a big hoo-ha, and he had to get a super license to drive because, yeah, that was it. Yeah. Right. So we've put the development point in. We have done the designing. The facilities are doing what they need to do. We've upgraded the weather centre again. 28 days for that. We want as much accurate weather forecasting as possible if we can. Manufacture of the front wing complete. We already have it on, of course. That's just a spare. So the board confidence check-in. Looking good. Board confidence. Board confidence high. Race performances. Delighted, apart from the first race of the season. Objective satisfied, fantasy satisfied, 6th or above. We're definitely on target with that one. We're currently in 4th. They want us to win the Constructors' Championship by 2026. Well, we won't be here in 2026, but we'll see. Maybe I'll play it. Maybe even if I just do the first 2 seasons properly recorded, I might. If we haven't won the title by then, I might just do some like little check-ins. And play it off camera for the most part, but do some little check-ins, maybe have a race or 2 on camera. We'll see. Season budget, that's fine. Rules and regs, no. Budget's fine. Car development's looking fine to me. Yeah. Not marvellous, is it? It's not perfect, but it's looking better in the medium speed and the high speed, isn't it? 7th and 11th, 9th and 7th. 7th low speed cornering as well. Actually, it's not too shabby. Not looking bad. After our first couple of upgrades. And that's another chassis. Thank you very much, Daniel, for costing us money. Every time you crash my car, it costs me millions of dollars, Daniel. All right, just go steady now, will you? Is it Azerbaijan? It is Azerbaijan. I thought it might have been. So Forza Motorsport is coming out on PC, which means that yes, I will be playing it. As you well know, racing games are the only games that I play online. So we'll do some single player stuff, and we'll do some online racing stuff, ranked online racing, because I don't do anything less when it comes to racing games. I do like my racing, online racing, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Right, Azerbaijan race weekend. Let's get the performance target set. Reach Q3 with at least one car. I mean, we could almost risk it with two now, but we won't. We're not quite that confident, but with one car, definitely Lando will reach Q3. Reach Q2 with both cars is easy, so we'll get a little bit of a bonus there. It's always asked for fastest lap, which we never get, so there's no point. And finishing position hot streak, one car in the top 10 twice in a row should get us a semi-decent bonus there. Excellent. Right, we're not going for overly ambitious targets. Don't think we need to be honest. Right, performance targets, driver overview, blah blah blah. Let's have a look at this circuit. This is Azerbaijan, Baku. It is. So let's have a look at the overview. It's looking like it's going to be a scorcher of a weekend. I can't believe it was first. I remember when it first came onto this calendar, 2016, 6 years ago. Sections by speed, as you can see, lot of purple. It's a very quick street circuit. Lots of flat out sections. The start finish straight very long. If you look at the car attributes, top speed and low speed cornering is the two crucial stats for this circuit, and both of those we actually are not the greatest at, so we might actually struggle in this race, to be fair. We'll see. We're not focusing on top speed, of course. Time considerations. 22 seconds is the average pit lane loss time. There's been quite a few safety car deployments over the last 4 seasons, so safety car is likely, although I don't know how accurate the game is when it comes to that. So the expected strategy is a one-stop, medium onto hard, possibly soft onto hard. I'd probably err it on the side of caution and go medium-hard. One-stop strategy, sounds about right. Compound differential between the soft and the medium is quite significant. 7/10 differential between the soft and the medium. And same from the medium to the hard. Which makes you wonder, a soft onto a hard strategy might be viable. It's a long stint on the hard tyres though, very long. I think we'll play it safe and just do a medium onto hard. Not that we're going to have to worry about that today, because we're not going to have time to race today. But we'll continue to the race weekend. We'll do the practice, get the car set up, and we'll do the qualifying.
Hello from Baku, where we're looking forward to a weekend of racing among the medieval and the modern, here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Drivers will be battling it out on the streets of the Baku city circuit, a real contradiction of a track. From the long main straight, where the less drag the better, to the tight turns where downforce is a necessity. Teams are going to have to work hard to get that balance right. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everyone.
We're not halfway through already. We're now a bit less than halfway. Okay, so what I need to do very quickly is get my practice. Not my practice. My setup little helper on. This is all to do with saving time, of course. Sure you'll forgive me for saving time here. Right, okay, so soft tyres is fine. Car, parts, practice engine and practice gearbox is required. ERS is fine there. Install that onto the car. There we go. And car setup. Right, let's see how this looks. And let's see how that looks. Okay, and there we go. Very good. Run plan. It's a long track. 15 laps should be enough. We'll do 20 though. Okay. And that's Daniel sorted. Okay, excellent. And we do the same setup. Run plan and the fuel and stuff. Right, perfect. Let's get this practice show on the road.
Radio check.
Right, so anyway, what am I looking at?
Radio check.
Am I going to start Hogwarts Legacy on the 10th, or are you going to wait for another series to finish? Good question. I haven't decided. I'm thinking of doing it on release, but I hate playing games on release because there's bugs and stuff. And I'm like, maybe I should just wait for like a couple of months, get some of the early glitches and bugs out and a couple of patches on, and then maybe do it then. I'll see. But it's Harry Potter, it's Hogwarts Legacy, and it's, you know, it's been in development for quite a while. Can I actually wait to play it? That's the question. That's the question. Can I actually wait to play it? We shall have to see. Oh no, it's not pushing 3. It's not pushing 3K further back. It's 3K starting after CK2, regardless of what happens. Hogwarts Legacy would likely be a replacement for Plague Tale, to be honest. Mortuary System, well, I'll finish that game at some point, don't you worry. Maybe I'll save it for next Halloween to do the next session. Maybe I'll wait till the reviews come out. I know reviews aren't the be all and end all, but at least it will give me an inkling as to whether I should be rushing out to buy it or maybe just being patient, you know, if the reviews aren't particularly marvellous. But yeah, Mortuary Assistant, you notice I haven't cancelled the series.
Do you just want to give a very quick bit of feedback?
Because I'm determined to finish it.
I'm happy.
He's happy.
Message understood.
Good. I will finish it. And it's optimal for Daniel. Perfect, says Daniel. Excellent indeed. Right. Well, that's setup sorted then, very quickly and easily. There you go, you see. So yeah, Mortuary Assistant. If I'm not playing football on Wednesday, which I don't think I am because they've already announced the teams, they've already announced who's playing, so I clearly have missed the boat. Then that will be Mortuary Assistant Day, because today is this. Tomorrow will be CK2. I'm going to be playing Plague Tale on Tuesday, just a regular recording session, which means Wednesday I can stream Mortuary Assistant, unless I decide to stream CK2 instead, or even Plague Tale. But I think it's about time we went back into Mortuary Assistant. I think so. We've got a second body to sort out, yeah? We've sorted out Santa Claus, and now it's time for us to sort out the second guy. Finish one night or the whole game? The whole game, clearly. Clearly. Can't finish just one night after all this saga. Right, 97% is the setup. That's good, which is perfect. So medium set of tyres. Run plan for 25 laps. Knock yourself out. Lando's is 87. Okay, he's going to need a bit of work. His is going to need a bit of work. I'm not happy with 87. So give me a second. Right, let's try that. Okay, so optimal staying the same. These just need to move a little bit, and good needs to move a bit more. So this is a potential decent setup. It depends. My tyres need to go to medium. My run plan, 20 laps, is probably more than enough. Okay, we're off again. So Norris is going to have a reduced, well actually he's not too bad, 35. Still pretty decent track acclimatization. Anyway, so what time are we streaming till today? I think Cham asked, and well, I'm going to do obviously practice, and we'll do qualifying. So that should probably take us up until round about 11ish. And then I can start the next session with the race. And next session will be a bumper session where I'll do this. I'll do the race here. I'll skip the practice and the qualifying of Canada. So I definitely think it's Canada next now, maybe. And we'll do just a quick highlights rundown of what happened in qualifying, and then we'll have another race in Canada. So we'll have the race here and the race in Canada, or whichever the next race is,
Well done, mate. Great
in the next session. So a nice little double race session for next time. Righty-ho, let's have a look at this. Setup isn't being finished for Lando yet, but Daniel's fine. Okay, continue. Soft tyres. Just put that down, and we're going to give Daniel a 30 lap run out. Will his tyres last 30 laps? About 26. Set him off on the hards then. 30 lap run on the hards, maybe even 35. Just a really long stint on the hard tyres. Get as much track acclimatization as possible in this one session. I think is definitely the order of business. Lando 15 laps so that he gets his he could do it on the softs, so that he gets his car setup feedback done.
Daniel, I didn't hear your radio check. Radio check?
Yep, radio check good.
Yep, radio's good, drink's good.
Thank you, Daniel. Poor Daniel. Not once has he out-qualified, not once has he outraced Lando Norris yet. And it's not because I'm neglecting him, just in case you're wondering.
How's the balance?
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
Okay, good
understood.
but not perfect. Well, we're not going to bring him in just to check the setup. We'll have him do his full run, and then we'll bring him in after that. Or he'll come in naturally after that, and we'll see what the setup is now. Anything above 90 is fine. Verstappen
is out of the race.
Verstappen has something's happened. What's happened to him? What's happened?
And VSC deployed.
Oh, it's a VSC. I mean, it's only practice, but something
There's been a crash.
has happened to
Let's have a
Verstappen.
look. We're just watching the Red Bull.
Okay, he's he just lost the back
There's
end.
the crash.
So it was a bit of a strange. He's not out of the race. He's still driving. It was a little love tap. There's a little love tap. He's fine. Look, he's still driving round. Okay, so a bit of practice drama there for Verstappen, tapping the rear. Could have damaged his suspension, but it looks like he's okay. He's still driving round. Do 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 do. I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of like Sundays, Mondays, because it's the start of the working week, isn't it? I mean, who is a big fan of Sundays, honestly? Unless you don't work on a Monday. But, I mean, it's not been so bad recently because we started playing some football. Although I've already mentioned it. I'm sure I've mentioned it in a couple of streams or a couple of streams ago. But I don't know what it is, but with football recently, I'm not feeling it. I turn up and play, but it doesn't fill me with the same kind of enjoyment that it used to do. And I'm like, oh, I wonder why that is. Is it? Is it just you get to a certain age and you think, oh well, I've done my time, I don't know. But anyway, play football, stream, then Happy Valley, fantastic, love it. Is on a Sunday night, so I finish my stream, go downstairs, get a cup of tea, put Happy Valley on. That's my evening. Watch Happy Valley. 92% is perfectly fine now, so we're not going to go any more than that. Car parts, yep, that's fine. Run plan, we'll give him 20 laps at this point. Send him out. So then Happy Valley, and then obviously you go to work Monday, get Monday out of the way, do a bit of work, and then come home from work, and then proceed to watch The Last of Us. So yeah, Happy Valley, Last of Us, streaming on Sunday night, streaming CK2 on a Monday is my streaming day for that. So like Sunday, Monday, pretty decent days now. Get to watch some good stuff, get to stream some good stuff. Quite like them. Somebody spun. Now who's spun out? Who's spun now?
Yellow's ahead.
Who's spun?
Okay, understood.
Oh, Norris has spun.
Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Thankfully, not hitting anything. Thankfully, not damaging his tyres. Thankfully, Norris having a bit of a moment there. It's the first time he's done that all season. We'll let him off. He didn't damage the car, unlike Daniel last time when he smashed it into the barriers. Okay, new surroundings, new challenge. I changed teams on the Thursday. I played for a new team on Thursday. I say it's a new team. It's a team that I play for on a Sunday. But I played for a different team on the Thursday since 2015. So I played for them for 7 years and left them earlier this year. So I now play for the same team on a Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Oh, another crash. Another virtual safety car. High drama here in Azerbaijan. In the practice sessions. What's happening now?
We've had a crash.
It's Magnussen.
Take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas.
And Magnussen basically doing exactly what Verstappen did there. Just tapping the rear wing there. Little love tap. Nothing too serious. Seems to still have his wing intact. Don't work Mondays technically. Got rehearsals on Mondays.
And virtual safety car ending. Virtual safety car
Oh,
ending.
Nagisa, stop making us all jealous. Anyway, in other news, because obviously there's nothing else for me to talk about other than random crap right now. Obviously, my last electric and gas bill was a whopping £420. Obviously, the gas and electric crisis that we've got going on, especially in the UK at the moment, the price of gas and electric, especially gas, has gone absolutely through the roof. So, yeah, got a bit of a shock, but I expected it to be round about that price. So it wasn't overly shocking, but it was still not pleasant to see that happening. I've cocked up here. No, I haven't. It's fine. with the tyres, because obviously we need to give back 2 dry sets of tyres. Lando's used a set of softs and a set of mediums, set of hards, so he's fine. Ricciardo's just used a set of hards, however they'll probably give back a set of softs, which is fine with him. Yeah, it's fine. It's if you use just a set of softs and not a set of hards and mediums, then the game will hand back 2 sets of softs, which is annoying. But thankfully we used the hard tyres with Daniel, so a hard and a soft should be given back as well, so that should still be okay. Right, track acclimatisation is fine. It's 14 out of 15 for Lando as well. Although the track acclimatisation isn't 100, he's got all of the points that he's going to get. Because this extra point is not from this. I think this extra point is from setup confidence, to be honest with you. But we'll still send him out for the final practice.
Our race weekend continues.
Just thinking of conserving life of parts and stuff, you know. Anyway, so yeah, he's given back a set of softs and a set of hards. That's fine. So for this practice session, a set of softs and a set of mediums. Then, so set of softs, car parts are fine. Run plan. I think with Daniel, he's already full, isn't he? So literally, his run is going to be just a tyre usage run to get rid of those tyres. So that's fine with him. Lando is on a set of softs. He's going to run for 20 laps because he's not fully acclimatised yet. That's fine. Just paid my tax before the Tuesday deadline. Yep, 31st of Jan. 31st of Jan. Get your taxes paid. Get your return submitted by the 31st. I know this because I just helped my friend submit her tax return earlier this week, and then I've helped her set up a payment plan for it this week. Today, in fact. Right. Okay. So. Put you like that. Let's put you like that. Okay, excellent. Yes, I was saying, so it was 420 quid. So all we did was I said, look, we can't go on like this. It's a lot of money. It's ridiculous. Considering the bills used to be about £120, they've gone up like quadruple, almost. You know, it's ridiculous. Right, we need to put him on a second set of mediums to give those back as well. And then send him out for a short stint again. We'll wait for him to get fully acclimatised, and then we'll stick him out on a set of mediums. So basically, see you later, Ollie. So basically, yes, I turned down the timer on the timings thing, the timer on the boiler, reduced the amount of hours. I think we were having the heating on for 7 hours, and I took it down to 5 total. No, 4.5. 4.5 hours rather than 7. 5.5. So 5.5 hours instead of 7. So an hour and a half less per day on the heating. And also turned a couple of the radiators down from 5 to 1 in rooms that we don't use, so that at least a little bit of heat just to prevent damp and stuff. But just turn them right down, and turn the thermostat down as well by 1 degree, and it's brought the bill down from 420 to 350. So I want it to be 300. So a bit of further tweaking is required with the thermostat and with the timings, but it's going in the right direction. And it's going to be quite a couple of weeks over here now anyway. It's going to be quite mild. So I'm even thinking of turning the heating off. Because I mean, look, I'm dressed for the occasion. Why do I need heating on? I've got a dressing gown on. I've got my pyjamas, long sleeve, long bottoms, long sleeve top, tucked into my socks, tucked into my bottoms, tied up with a drawstring, so there's no cold air touching my damn body, apart from my head and my hands. Apart from my head and my hands, there is no exposure to flesh here. Did I send Norris out on his mediums? No. Short run, thank you. There we go. Right, why is self-employed tax so odd? Earned less than £1,000 last tax year, but I have to click I earned more for self-employed to count, and then enter in how much I earned later in the section. And then pay what they think we might earn next year based off of this one. Earned less than £1,000 last tax year. Well, paying towards next year is a payment on account. It's not what they think. It's based on your current year. So if you earn, so let's say your tax bill was £1,000 this year, and you continue in self-assessment, then they will have you pay 2 payments on account. One on the 31st of Jan this year, so you pay say £500 this year on the 31st of this month, and then you'd pay another £500 on the 31st of July, and that's basically on the assumption that your tax affairs will stay pretty much stable. It's just basically like an advanced payment, rather, so that when it comes to the 31st of January next year, you'll have nothing to pay because you've paid it on account the year before. That's how it works, basically. You would only have to pay a balancing payment if you earned more, for example. If you earned less, then you'd get that money back. I mean, it's quite simple, really, when you know how. You know, maybe when I retire at the ripe old age of 60, because I'm aiming to retire at 60, I'll go into a side business of accountancy. You know, help people with their returns. Just basics, really. Nothing too complex. What the hell's wrong with this microphone? Doobie-doobie-doo. Right, so practice is done. Full acclimatisation, pretty much set up fine. Tyres given back that we need to give back, so it's gone as smoothly as it can go. Just annoying for actors as we can have a really odd year and then a really bad one. So, yeah, you can actually reduce your payments on account if you wish, but you have to have a good reason to do so. For example, you might be self-employed this year, or 21, 22, fill your self-assessment, you owe £2,000 in tax, so therefore you've got to pay £2,000 by the 31st of January, and then £1,000 towards next year's tax bill, so you're technically speaking got to pay £3,000 up front, and then another £1,000 in July. However, if you know, for example, that you are no longer going to be self-employed for this year, this tax year, coming up, because you're going to be in PAYE, then you can reduce your payment on account, because you're not going to have as big a tax bill next year, because you're no longer self-employed, for example. Right, so practice is done. Doesn't really mean anything. Now is the time to shine, because it is qualifying, so it's 20 past 10, so we'll get a couple of qualifying sessions in at least. Right, so what are we going to do? We're going to go out on just one set of tyres and just do one run, if we get a clear run, that is. Now this is a track that's high speed, so I'm going to basically use a brand new engine here. Brand new engine, because top speed is one of the crucial parts, so ideally having a brand new engine could be quite useful. Similarly, we're going to use the new ERS as well that we've got on both cars, so we're going to give ourselves the best chance that we have to have our cars be as fast as possible. Right, so soft tyres and parts sorted. Brand new engine for this one. Okay, ERS new as well, and a gearbox that is not done too much as well there. So pretty new parts, which is going to help us with some speed, hopefully. This is qualifying one. So, you know, qualifying one means getting into the top 15, which should be easy now with our cars. I'm going to send Daniel out first, as per usual. Maybe we should send Norris out first. switch them around a bit, but it doesn't really matter that much for the first runs. It would be more pivotal in Q3 or even Q2, to be honest. So yeah, Daniel, out he goes. So riding on board for a lap then of well, we'll do it on the hot lap. We'll ride on board with Daniel for a lap of Azerbaijan. No, we're not doing that this lap, are we? No, we're not. We're doing that. There we go. And Norris will send him out a little bit later. We'll wait for a few cars to go out first before we send Norris out. Just want to get some clear air. Can never be guaranteed clear air when there are cars in the pits waiting to come out, because they can come out at any moment. But we shall see. This track is an easier one to pass on. There's a few more straights, so it should make it a bit less likely for us to be held up as well in that respect. But we'll see. We shall see. So into the castle section. Over the top. Coming down to a left-hander. Followed by another left. And then a sharpish one here. This is where I think Verstappen might have... Was this where Verstappen spun it out and hit his rear end onto the barrier there? Right, I think we need to be deploying from about now, actually, because we need to be deploying, because this is where you get onto the straight and we want as much straight line speed as possible. So there we go. I mean, the pit straight is right at the end of here, so it's fine, but we want to be deploying basically as early as possible. See you later, Cham. So blasting down this very, very long pit straight, and we'll ride on board a lap, wrong button, with Daniel here in Baku, first man to set a hot lap. That is the scene of many a misdemeanor there, that runoff area. And as we're coming down, here we go, full out, coming up to a sharp left-hander. Then a right coming up here. Lots of 90-degree corners in the early stages of this track. Traffic lights there just in case, I don't know, there's cars want to come onto the right-hand turn here as we come now once again down towards the castle segment. Sharp right. And a very awkward, narrow left here, which can easily go wrong. Bit of undulation as we come round the top. Some quickish left-handers here. That one's quite flat out actually. This one too. Over to the right. Make the angle big as we come to a sharp left. And then this is the last real corner on the circuit before it's flat out between here and the line. There we go. So Daniel Ricciardo, we're going to take Norris out now. Full speed ahead now for Daniel Ricciardo as he powers down the Baku straight. A clear lap, which should be more than adequate to get him into the top 15 here. Crosses the line. .145.4. Decent? I don't know. Not a clue. Let's turn him down. Bring him in. And we ride on board with Mr. Norris here. So if we can memorise Daniel's split times, we'll be doing alright. So 36.4, 41.9, 27.0. Are we going to remember that? Probably not. Alonso's gone quicker in the Alpine, which is a little bit disappointing. Those Alpines, of course, are the cars that we are battling with. Is Horace... Is Norris on a hot lap? Where's Norris? Is this a hot lap? Have I missed... No, this is a castle section. This is his out lap. I was getting confused for a second there, thinking, have I talking away and not turned him up? Not give him the full push? We are fast approaching another car. We need to get past this car before we're on a hot lap here. Get out of my way. Get out of my bloody way. Right, full. 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 A little bit early, but I want to get
Maximum pace.
the best slingshot
Confirm.
onto the straight as possible. Okay, so 4 tenths are quicker than Joe in the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, Alonso quicker than us. I'm expecting Norris to be getting quite close, because Norris is usually about 2 tenths faster than Daniel.
Okay, pit lane.
With it being a slightly longer track, we might hope for him to be a little bit quicker than that even, but we've got a
Okay,
car
copy.
that's literally just come right into our path. Literally. But thankfully, given all the straights, we're okay. This guy ahead of us is weaving around like a flipping moron. But we're going to catch him on the straight, and we should hopefully pass him before... No. Oh, this is slowing us down. This is slowing us down. That slowed us down, but still should be good enough for us to get to the top 15, so I'm not overly concerned much. Because we've still got quite a bit of a gap there. In fact, we're 5 tenths slower than Russell, which is also quite disappointing. But I did say that top speed and low speed cornering are not our forte, and that's the 2 crucial attributes for this track. So I did expect us to suffer here a little bit, actually. But we'll see. We'll see. I expected us to suffer in Monaco when we finished 7th, so it's not too bad. So let's have a look. So Norris, slightly hampered on his lap, but it'll probably still come out with a time similar to Daniel's, because if you take the differential in speed, usually about 2 tenths faster, probably lost about 2 tenths behind that car there. So we'll be getting, I think we'll be getting quite a similar time to Daniel. But we shall see as we are now powering down. Bottas! Look how slow Bottas is. So it's definitely noticeable that the Alphas are slower in high-speed circuits. They were slower in Miami. Why did we just stop? The car was going into the pits, and we seemed to stop or slow down. Yeah, so these Bottas much better in the slower speed Monaco, but when it comes to the high speed circuits, the Alphas seem to be a little bit on the slower side. Ocon way behind his teammate, probably got hampered. I think we are good here. I think we're good. Oh, it's conserve. It's conserve. I think we should be in the top 15 with those times. I don't think we need to go out again. We're well ahead of the rest. I think we'll take the chance and take the risk and save our tyres. Save our engines. I don't know, you know. Ooh, that's half a second. Ocon could go quicker. It's a risk, isn't it? But I don't know. I'm quite comfortable. Actually, I'm not comfortable because we've got a Haas that's ahead of us. I don't think we should be comfortable here. I think we need to go out again. Don't forget how long this track is. It's a 1 minute 45 here. I don't think we should be. I don't think we can be complacent here. I think we need to go out again. Oh, I've not even done the tyres. Shit. Uh-oh. Forgot to do the tyres. I don't think we're going to make it. Daniel's a bit safer. We ain't making this. There's no way on earth we're making this. I mean, we don't. I don't think we have to. I think we are safe, but we just have to make sure here, cover off just in case. We can always abort the lap if we end up being safe, but. We're going to have to push with both cars to see if we can get round quicker. Burn off a bit more fuel. Okay, so here we go. Right, so Norris, full push, full deploy, push with the tyres, let's go. Where's Daniel? 29 seconds.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Okay, now where's the line? 20 seconds. Oh, there's a crash in sector 2. That could end the session if we have any sort of safety car situation.
There's been a crash. Sounds like
No.
a single car.
Has
Let's
he
take a
binned
closer
it?
look.
Is it stuck?
Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Oh,
Thank goodness nobody else.
let's have a look at Stroll. Is he still beached? He's still beached. That means that he's anybody that's crossing that
Let's take
sector,
a look at the replay.
anything that's crossing that sector, their time is going to be ruined because they have to slow down. He's moving now. So some of those drivers are going to have their times hampered. Whereas we have come at just the right moment, it seems. I think Daniel did make it in the end. So both of our cars are on hot laps. We will continue to push until we are happy that we are safe. At the moment, we're not happy. I can't see any cars making up half a second, but it's better to be safe than sorry, as they say. And I'm also quite intrigued as to what time we get unimpeded, unhindered. I mean, look at Hamilton. Only a tenth behind the Ferraris and the Red Bull. I mean, what's happened there? Either they've got crappy times, or the Mercedes have bought a damn upgrade. Right, okay, so full biz. Yeah, I'm intrigued as to what our pace is like. Although this qualifying looks a bit odd to me. Perez is out of position. Hamilton seems a bit higher up than he should be. So I don't know what's happening with the qualifying here. But it'd be quite interesting to see roughly where we stand to be in the pecking order. Let's have a look as we power down. Power down. Shut up. Okay, look at the difference there. Massive difference. And Daniel, not much of a difference. P12 on pure pace. Did I tell you? Top speed. Don't forget, whenever we've been dealing with our wings and underfloor, we've always taken down the top speed for cornering. So look, this is one track we are going to struggle in. We are going to struggle here. Right, okay, so I think for this one, Daniel, we're not using a soft tyre in the race, I don't think, are we? Not that I'm aware of. So we'll go with Daniel, we'll do, tempted to do actually 89%. We'll do a used soft run to start with both cars, because again we're not guaranteed to get positions. We could get hampered, you see. So let's do that, and we'll do the same for you. 89%, yeah, we'll do that. A used set for the first run, then a brand new set for the second run. Daniel goes out first.
Track should be green.
Seems to be the best thing to do to avoid the traffic going out quite early, although you don't get the best track rubber situation because you're the first one out, but for a banker lap it should do. Oh. Let's sorry. Send Norris out now. Okay, so Daniel is on the straight now. Let's put the push on. Let's put the attack on.
Overtake button.
Okay.
Use the pace now.
Understood.
Okay, so who am I going to replace Ricciardo with? Oh, I said it. I mentioned earlier that I was toying with the idea of bringing Lewis Hamilton to the team. Oh my God, that's horrific! Oh my God! Oh! $45. That is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Right, Norris is
Can push.
on the deployment. Daniel Ricciardo will be setting up first. Oh, he's coming across traffic, but the traffic is moving. Traffic is moving. There's more traffic up here though. We're catching the traffic coming up to a straight. Is he going to get out of the way? Is he going to go back on the line? No. Oh my God, it was close. Okay, and here we go. Full pace. Full pace. Down we go. Where's Norris? Ooh, got cars ahead of him as well. Don't know how they've hampered or what, but not ideal. Both cars looking like they had a little bit of traffic. DRS open down the straight. Daniel Ricciardo, first one to set a lap. $1:45.5. Can't remember what our time was in the first qualifying.
Keep looking after the tyre.
Is it alright? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? Just seen it on IGN. Oh, that is awful. What happened to her? Heart attack or something? She wasn't ill, was she? Okay, so Ricciardo is 1.4 off the pace there, which makes me think that his time was compromised. Okay, so coming round here with Norris, we'll see. Oh, she had cancer. Oh, God. Okay, so Norris, we'll see how his time compares with Ricciardo's to get a feel for how maybe hampered Ricciardo was there, but it just looks like a very slow time to me. So full pace down this straight. This is where we're going to struggle in the race as well, because we don't have the top speed of some of the other cars. But Lando Norris coming up into P5, couple of tenths behind Bottas, which is a bit disappointing, because I was saying that how the Alphas struggle in high-speed circuits, so the fact that we're only 3 tenths ahead of a Haas indicates just
recharge on is okay,
just
please.
how
Yep.
we're not suited to this track. That's really put a dampener on the evening.
Daniel pit lane.
Copy.
A 3-year battle.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter.
God, it's such a horrible disease. It really is. Right, so Daniel needs to come in a fresh set of boots. Norris is coming in. 16 speed. Fresh set of boots. And then we're going to wait to come out. So everybody is out for a second time. Get the best track position we possibly can. I mean, we're still in the top 10 with both cars, but we expect Russell to go out quicker. We don't expect Ocon possibly. Sonoda, Joe and Gasly maybe not so much. I think we can still get 2 cars into the top 10 here. The actress from the game. Oh, it's the actress from the game. I mean, not that it should mean anything less. I mean, it's still a person, isn't it? But, oh, it's still just as sad. Right, do we have the right tyres on with both cars? Yes, we do. Still got plenty of time left here. I say that. Still got plenty of time. Loads of time. Right, we're going to take Ricciardo out first because he's most at risk. So we want him to be making sure that he gets past that start-finish line with plenty of time to spare. We've got loads of time to spare. We're way. And send Norris out. And 8 speed. And confirm. We have to burn more fuel off. Right, Ricciardo, here we go.
Okay, push. Okay.
Maximum pace.
Right, we're on it. We're on it, my friends. We're on it. Here we go. So looking to get both cars into Q3 here. Both cars into Q3. Verstappen currently on provisional pole. Leclerc, that's probably not his true pace. There's been obviously some issues with traffic on this circuit for a lot of cars. Russell out of position. Ocon seems to be a bit out of position too. But let's not worry about those guys. Let's worry about ourselves. And right now, we need Ricciardo to put some more pace into his lap from somewhere. He's got to find some pace somehow. He's 5/10 slower than Norris. He was definitely hampered by traffic. We saw the traffic. The time is not that slow. He's not that slow compared to Norris. So he's quicker in the first sector. Quicker in the first sector. Here we go. Looking good. Check the fuel load. Fuel load's fine.
Okay, Lando, that is
Fuel load's fine. We're still 2 kilograms over, don't worry. Right, okay, so we've got some people coming over the line. Tsunoda, Ocon has improved. He's pushed Ricciardo down into the elimination zone. Russell has gone quicker, but not quick enough. He's still P11. He's done a second lap, and he's still not in the top 10. Look at that. Horrendous for George Russell here. Either his car has no pace, or he's been caught in traffic twice, potentially. Gasly in P7. That's the best we've seen the Alpha Tauris for a while. Ricciardo has got to find 3/10. He's got to find 3/10 to get ahead here. I mean, this is a race where the order has been a little bit shaken up. We've not seen Alpha Tauris up here for a little while. We've not seen Magnussen in the top 10 for a long time. So clearly a circuit that suits some of the cars more than others, it seems. But Daniel is going faster. Is it 3/10 faster? I doubt it, but let's have a look. He crosses the line. It's almost 3/10. Look at that. We're talking 8/100ths of a second between 10th and 13th here, but still not quite enough to move him up a position. Frustrating, hey? Frustrating as hell. Right, here comes Lando Norris, who's going quicker too. He's already in the final top 10 shootout, but is he going to improve his time? Yes, he does by a tenth, about a tenth. He goes up into P8. So, yeah, Gasly having a fantastic qualifying so far. But look at that, Ricciardo down in P13. It's going to be a struggle for him to get some points possibly today when it comes to Sunday's race. But this is what happens when you have a particular focus when it comes to the design concept of your car, because Mercedes have always had a particular design. Even when they were at the most dominant, for example, there were always those circuits that they used to struggle on, and it tended to be the circuits with the slower speed. So like Monaco, Singapore, even when they had the fastest car by a fair distance, the gap closed on the tight twisty circuits because they had a slightly longer wheelbase, a lower rake concept. So we're going to have these kind of races where the tracks don't suit our design concept. This is clearly one of them. But for something like a Silverstone with the quick sweeping high speed, medium speed corners, we're going to be really good on them on that track, for example. But we're basing our design concept on the tracks that have the most crucial or recommended attributes, and that was high speed and medium speed corners. So we're going to be fastest on most tracks overall. There will be the odd couple where we clearly are struggling. So goodbye Daniel, 13th, the first time that he's not qualified in Q3 since we brought the upgrades. So he's going to have to do something in the race. But we will start Q3. We have a fresh set of softs, which we've got 2 fresh sets. We don't expect to use a set of softs in the race unless there's a safety car or a red flag or something, at which point we could put on, we'll use a used set for the first qualifying lap and a brand new set for the second, and keep 1 set of softs brand new just in case something happens in the race that requires us to put a set of softs on. So let's do it. Q3 with Mr. Norris. No teammate to worry about, just the one car. Look at this, everybody's going out, so we'll go out too. Quick as you like.
Okay, so that's a
Pass
green
all
light.
the cars. Pass all the cars by putting our engine mode up. Because we don't need all this fuel. So we should get past all of these cars by the time it comes to our hot lap, which is the ideal situation to be in. We want to have a clear track ahead of us, if we can. Mind you, there's quite a few cars ahead of us here. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to pass all of them at this point. We're trying. We're still trying. Okay, we've got a bit of a clear gap here. I mean, if we play our cards right, we might even get a bit of a slipstream here. Okay, here we go. Actually, we're passing. Who are we passing? Ooh, we don't want to be compromised on the straight here. There we go. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Past the AlphaTauri there, and down the straight we come onto our first qualifying run of Q3. We're looking to get round about P7, P8 with Mr. Norris here today. It would be quite an achievement considering our straight line issues, our straight line speed issues here. Look at that, he's getting a bit of a slipstream on us. Going to really help his time. Who is it anyway? It must be Gasly. Yeah, Gasly will be getting some slipstream here. That's going to really help his time, but then he's going to be tucked up behind us, which isn't going to help his time. So swings and roundabouts, but Gasly's benefiting from a little bit of slipstream. A slingshot down the main straight might also be in order for him here. Because in real life, this is what happens, you see. You get this kind of... It happens here, happens Monza. Cars are trying to get slipstreams from other cars, and you know, you get teammates going out in front of you to slipstream you down the straight, and all kinds of tactics come into play when there's long straights. Okay, so coming round now. Here we go. It's going to be not the first person to set a lap because there's a car ahead of us. Looks like it's Magnussen. That's going to set the first time, so we'll see what Magnussen does as he crosses the line very shortly. And he crosses the line and gets a 1:45.2, and here comes Norris with a That's not fantastically good, is it? That really is not fantastically good. But don't forget,
Just be careful.
don't
this time.
forget, we're using used tyres, so we've got a brand new set to look forward to. But the fact of the matter is, if we're just about scraping ahead of a Haas here, this isn't looking good. Now, the question I have to ask myself going into the final run is, normally we start quite far back. Quite far back from the other cars. Now, if we're to do this properly, we should be timing it so that our car is behind the last car but close enough to get a slipstream. Because look at Gasly, right? He slipstreamed us for quite a lot of that lap, and he's qualified in 6th, which I don't think is his natural pace. I think he's got a bit of an extra tenth or two from slipstreaming us. So if we can do the same on our second run and benefit from a slipstream of a car in front of us, we might be able to gain a couple of tenths ourselves. So I think we've got to make sure that we time our second run accordingly and get onto the back of the car that's at the back of the train, but you know, keep close enough to get that toe. So it could backfire horrendously because we could end up so close that we get hampered, but I think we need to take that chance because, you know, it's a track we can pass on anyway, so even if we finish 9th or 10th, it's not the end of the world, but I think it's worth the risk. We now go onto a brand new set of softs, so we get a bit of extra pace from being on the brand new set of tyres, but if we can get a slipstream to the cars in front, then we'll be laughing here. Now, who is the last car to go out? It looks like Perez, which is perfect because he's a quick car, so he won't hold us up. Right, Norris is going out, so we need to tag onto the back of Perez. Now, we look like we're quite far behind at the moment, but we're going to push our engine, so we will catch them. And then hopefully we'll be able to manoeuvre ourselves in such a way that we're on the back of him. Although I wonder if we are too late. Let's have a look. Let's take manual control. Let's push. We can't push the tyres, of course, because we can't take the life out of the tyres. But we can certainly push. We can also probably afford to use a bit of ERS. We could use a bit of ERS as well, actually, if we really wanted to. As soon as we get quite close to the back, we turn the engine mode down to conserve to put ourselves back on the same pace. So we're trying to get into the slipstream here. Not seeing Perez just yet. Have we timed this well or timed this a little bit too late? I think we may have timed this a bit too late. I'm going to use deployment a little bit to catch up a bit more. And then back to harvest.
And recharge on, recharge on.
Oh, it's just a little bit too late, I think. It's a flipping bummer. Look, he's right there. Ah!
And you can push.
A split second too late to get a slipstream. Never mind. So it's going to have to be pure pace then. Yeah. Damn it. Damn it. Just missed out on the slipstream. To be fair, you can, I mean, even as close as we are from here, we're probably a little bit too far, but the slipstream effect can be felt up to, I think it's about 2 seconds behind. You can still get a little bit of the slipstream effect. You don't have to be like really close, but I think we're too far. But let's see what happens when we come to the first sector. We need it to be green. We need it to be green. So the issue is all these other cars will be like slipstreaming each other. So we seem to be gaining. So I wonder if they're tripping over each other, you know. We are going faster. Second sector coming up shortly. Let's hope it's a green. Okay, second sector is here, right? God, where is the second sector? I think we've passed. Oh, it's here. We're green again. We're green again. There we go. There we go. So Verstappen on pole. Provisional or actual pole? No, he's on actual pole. Right, here we go. Come on, come on. Put your foot down. Pedal to the metal. Come on. Where are we going to finish? Oh, shut up. 8th position is the best we can hope for. Okay, 8th position is what we've got so far. And that's it. There's no more cars to cross the line. So Alonso has clearly cocked something up. Magnussen also, Gasly. So, yeah, P8 for Norris, which is not bad. And only a 10th behind Bottas. I mean, Gasly got a slipstream from us when he got that lap. So I'm kind of thinking he's a little bit out of position, maybe. But, I mean, we've got a Alpha Tauri, an Alfa Romeo, and a McLaren, you know, Alpines, and even a Haas. You know, it's quite tight in the midfield on this track. So there's no guarantees here as to what's going to happen. Hopefully we'll get at least one person in the points. But can we orchestrate a points finish for Mr. Daniel Ricciardo, who's looked very sluggish, really, throughout the entirety of the weekend, unfortunately. But anyway, Max Verstappen on pole position. It's a good sign, and even more of a good sign is the fact that Sergio Perez has managed to orchestrate a Red Bull front row lockout. Ferrari's, yeah, suffering here. Upgrades, or maybe just the characteristics of the circuit suiting the Red Bull. We'll have to see in future races if Red Bull can keep this same kind of pace up. Because if they can, the Ferraris are going to be, well, not too happy about that, I would imagine. Lewis Hamilton 5th, as per usual. Best of the rest, Gasly, as we said, orchestrating some kind of miracle, getting into P6 in his car when his teammate is all the way down in, what's that, 11th, 12th, 14th. That's quite the difference. Bottas doing well to get into P7, and Lando, I think, doing well to get into P8 as well. So, and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas doing very well too. So some new faces in the top 10, it seems.
It's race day and final preparation.
Yes, final preparations, etc, etc. Right, so there you go, folks. I think now is a good time to end the session. It's bang on 11 o'clock. Time for me to have a cup of tea, watch Happy Valley, and then go to bed. But yes, so in the next recorded session, it will be a race. We will do the race of Baku, and then I'm hoping to do the next race in the same session as well. So maybe a double race situation. Let's just save it before I forget. But where can we finish is the burning question. Well, we shall soon find out. When it comes to the strategies and stuff, we'll sort that out next time. But yes, thank you for watching, for joining me this evening. Tomorrow we shall return back to the world of CK2, where we have a decision to make about a man who wants to kill us. So that should be good fun. Looking forward to that. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons and evenings. And yeah, have a good Monday tomorrow, the first day of the working week. Let's have a good one for a change, shall we? All right? And enjoy Happy Valley if you're watching it. Enjoy Last of Us if you watch it before the stream tomorrow. I will be watching it before the stream, but of course we won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't watched it. But we can head to the Discord and, you know, use spoiler tags if we need to and all sorts. But yeah, have a good one, folks. Enjoy the rest of your time. And until next time, I shall see you soon.